Welcome to the show, everybody. Very excited. This is Vincent with the RAMP program here based in Fort Collins, Colorado, also known as Music City, Colorado. And this is very exciting. It's been a couple weeks since the last BeLive.tv show that I did. And really great. BeLive.tv celebrated its first birthday a couple weeks ago. This is really groundbreaking. For those of you that are not familiar with live TV, it's pretty remarkable what we're able to do. So we're very excited to talk about ItyDity tonight. We are going to be speaking in just a moment with Emily Saterlee, who is the founder and the creative kingpin of ItyDity, which is really fascinating. I'm really excited to learn and have people learn about what ItyDity does, the creation and implementation of ItyDity. And we're going to have two of the artists who are part of the initial round of ItyDity, Emma Marie Music, Emma Marie based here in Northern Colorado, and also Maya Bennett. So we're gonna bring them on in a little bit. And right now, we are going to bring on Emily Saterlee. Hello, Emily.
Hello, Vincent.
Hey, it's great to have you here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
This is really fantastic. I'm excited to be back in the live streaming realm. And this is, I believe, is this your first experience with the live streaming?
Yeah, it is. I just saw like a comment pop up, so all of this is new to me. It's fun.
It really is. Sheila Van saying, hey, appreciate you logging in. Sheila, where are you from, Sheila? It's really cool because people can leave comments and they can interact with us, and we can, build community. In this case, community of music that we're able to do here. So this is pretty exciting. Really excited to have you on here. You know, Emma Marie and her mom Cindy told me about ItyDity, and I was like, well, what is that? And when I came to realize what you've set up here, I was really impressed because it serves a really great function in bringing together artists who are trying to understand what type of producer they would work best with. So tell folks a little bit about that.
Yeah, so it's kind of one of the ways that's easiest to describe it is it's kind of like a match.com for artists and producers, especially artists that are just starting out. Like you said, it's kind of hard to know what kind of producer you're looking for, or maybe even what direction you want to go with your song. And so, yeah, I'm a singer-songwriter myself, and I really struggled with that for a long time, trying to find the right producers for my songs. I, lost a lot of time and money working with producers who just didn't understand my musical vision. And I kind of got disheartened from like even making music at all. And then I got kind of obsessed with like what makes a good match. So like, is it common influences that you and a producer share? Or is it communication, or what is it? So I made ItyDity to kind of solve all of these problems and really make a fast track way for artists to find a producer who like gets them, like find someone like their tribe, like someone who understands what they're going for, but also can add something else to it that maybe they didn't even know was possible.
That's really cool. So we have a couple terrific musicians here with us, and in a little bit we'll bring on Maya Bennett. And first up we have Emma Marie, and it would be really cool to hear about what she's been able to do through ItyDity. Hi, Emma Marie.
Hey, Vincent.
Hey, it's great to have you with us.
Yeah, thanks for letting me get on this.
Yeah, and you're here, and we want to, I'll put on Emily as well, and tell
Hi,
us
Emma.
how you first. Yeah, it's like a reunion here of sorts. A lot has happened between the two of you in an artistic realm that has really, I think, helped both of you and kind of help the scene here in Northern Colorado. As you know, there's a lot of pretty remarkable things happening. And how, Emma, did you first hear about what Emily is doing with ItyDity?
Well, we basically just were looking for a producer as well, and we just, we're kind of, searching and stuff, and then we saw ItyDity. We're like, whoa, this seems like a really cool competition, type thing. And so I decided to enter, and I've worked with producers before, but I really liked this because I got a lot of different things that my song was able, like, different versions of my song, and I liked how I got to pick the best one and my favorite one that really represented me.
So you put down like a home-based track, and there were 4 or 5 producers who all listened to the track, and then you were able to decide which producer you felt came up with the sound that worked best for you.
Right. Yeah, I think I had like 7 producers, but yeah, I was always like, ooh, I can't wait to hear, the next one. It was really exciting.
Yeah. So Emily, where did you first come up with this idea? It just seems like really different, really groundbreaking.
Well, there's another company that does this, but in a totally different market. They do it for graphic design. So there's a site called 99 Designs that if you need a logo design, you can hold a contest, and a bunch of different graphic designers come on and show you what they would do with your logo, and then you pick your favorite. And I worked in marketing before this, and for a long time, and my boyfriend at the time was a graphic designer, and he used 99 Designs to make a lot of money. So he used it as kind of like a career launching pad for himself. Anyway, so I saw that and I was like, man, if this had existed for me when I was looking for a producer, it would have saved me so much pain and agony. Yeah. So I thought about it for a long time and kind of sat on it. And then I was like, I'm going to do it. And there's a ton, and now that I'm doing it, I've been doing it for about a year almost, kind of putting it together. It's turned out to be a lot different than 99 Designs because there's a lot of differences between graphic design and music. But yeah, that's how it came about.
That's really fantastic. For those of you that are just joining us, this is Vincent here with the RAMP program. I'm speaking with Emily Saterlee, who recently started ItyDity, which is a way to. How would you, in one or 2 sentences, describe ItyDity, Emily?
It is a website for artists to post a contest to have their song produced in the best possible way.
Really well put. Yeah, that's great. Well, we've got Maya Bennett here, and Emily, I'm going to drop you. We have a digital lobby. This is a really interesting application for those that are new to BeLive.tv. We can have up to 3 people on screen at a time. And then we can have a lobby where we have people kind of waiting to come into the show. Right now we have Maya Bennett down there. So we're going to do a little comparison with Emma and Maya as far as their experience with ItyDity. So Emily, really great to have you here.
Cool.
And we're gonna switch you out with Maya, and hang on tight, and we'll get back to you in a little bit.
Sounds good.
Excellent. Well, Maya, we're going to bring you up into the show here. We are really excited to have the 2 of you here with us. Hi, Maya.
How's it going?
It's going great. Your
Good.
scarf very reflective of Colorado weather. I think we had, was it 2 days ago, like 80 degrees?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's quite a bit different here in Colorado. So
A little bit.
just a little bit.
Just a little.
You 2 both went through a process with ItyDity, and Emma previously described a little bit of that process. So Maya, talk about now when you had the home recording. I find it so interesting on the website. Once you submit your home recording, you set these variables. And I'm going to kind of talk to both you and Emma about that, as far as how that worked, as far as how you interpreted, what kind of sound you were looking for. So let's talk about that.
Well, at first, I just wanted to, when I submitted the song, I just wanted it to be very simple. But then when I was hearing these recordings, I got a bunch of like the produced songs. I was like blown away by all the different things that all these creative people were adding to it. And ultimately, the final song, which we're not done yet with, but I chose Jonah Brockman as the person, but he like completely changed the song in a way that I couldn't even imagine. And that's what I think is the coolest thing about this.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really incredible. Let's get a little input from Emma. Emma, I'm pretty new to the recording world and what all goes into it. And want to thank Sarah for tuning in. Sarah Suzanne, ItyDity is amazing, and so are you. Might be talking about you, might be talking about Maya, might be talking about everybody. Might be talking about Emily. Emily, this is a great, Emily is the creator of this, so it's really, really fantastic. You know, so when a CD is produced, or when a song, excuse me, when a song is produced, there are so many variables that go into what a producer can do. And I think Maya, you just really encapsulated that, where you had an idea for the song, and as the artist, obviously you have a vision. The producers are looking at it in a different way, and they're able to do so many different things as far as the variables. So Emma, what were some of the variables for you? Because there's like this really cool like slider, I guess that would be the word for it, where you can say I want it pop or I want it rock, I want it raw or I want it polished, and that sort of thing.
Right.
Talk about that.
So I performed the song acoustically, my song Gold. I performed that acoustically on piano. And so, but then I went in and I was like, every time I performed this song, I was like always thinking, oh, this has a really good, pop feel. I think it could be really poppy. Well, I think that when I went in, I didn't know exactly what I wanted, but I knew I really wanted it to be very poppy. And it was really cool because I got to hear all those different things, different people doing different things to my song. And I loved that. And it was just really cool. And I think something that I really wanted to make sure I had were a few hooks in there. That way it was something that people remembered and something that made the song a little more catchy. So.
Really great. Really great. How about you, Maya? Like you were talking about how they took the song and they kind of made it into something that was completely different.
Yeah.
In what ways did they make it different from how you originally saw the song?
Well, like I thought it was interesting because this is kind of a slower, well, it's like fast rhythm, but like kind of a depressing song, like most of my songs. But this one producer, it was cool. He sent in like it sounded like it could be played at like a club or something, which is not usually what I go for. There's like a nice dance beat behind it, so it was cool just to see all the different stuff. And then Jonah sent in something that accentuated all of that, all of the stuff that I already had there, and it's cool just to see. I think producing is an art in itself, and then it's cool to like watch your art become someone else's art at the same time. Some kind of. I mean, it's still yours, but it's like a partnership, which I like.
I'm going to bring Emily up, and Maya, I'm going to scoot you into the lobby for just a moment.
Okay.
Appreciate that, and great thoughts there. And here we are with Emily. We're going to bring Emily up. If you're just joining us, this is Vincent, and I'm here in Colorado. Actually, all of us here today are in Colorado. Hello again, Emily.
Hi again.
You know, it's got to be really fascinating for you hearing what Maya had to say, and Emma here with us as well. This is like your baby, right?
Yeah, when Maya went on a trip to Chicago for a family, I think, and then Jonah is in Michigan. So they actually ended up meeting up together just to meet in person, since they were kind of close And I was like, can you guys videotape it? Like videotape an interview about how the collaboration process was between the two of you. And when I got that video footage of seeing like the two of them together, it made me like so happy. It was like, that was the first person who chose a winner. So it was like our first successful match that we made. And it was just really, really like fulfilling and exciting for me to see that. Yeah. To see it work for somebody else. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Really great. Really great.
And Jonah and Maya are going to keep working together off the site on other songs together. And I think that Emma, you're going to do the same with the producer that you chose, as well as you might post another contest for another song, but you're also going to work with Milo on the side too, which is great. So it's like we're facilitating these, like, it's not these one-off collaborations or these one-off jobs. It's like you're actually finding people who get you, and you can keep working with them and form a long-lasting partnership. So it's super cool for me to watch. Yeah.
For people that are looking at doing this, they would go on to ItyDity, and
Yeah,
you
do you
kind of want
want me
to
to
walk them. Yeah, that would be great.
kind of walk through the process? Yeah. So you would go to ItyDity if you want to, if you have a song that you're looking to have produced and you think that this is like a cool way to get that done. Yeah, you just go fill out a form and list. You can record a home demo. That's the first step. So you can record that any way that you want. You can really do it really simply with some recording equipment that you have at home, or you might want to take the extra step to enlist the help of an engineer that you know locally to kind of help you record those tracks. And we're working on a kind of like a video to walk users through that. But if you're local here in Colorado, we've been helping all the artists do that. Very hands-on. But anyway, you record your home demo and then you kind of list some musical references, some songs that you kind of feel like your song could sound like in certain areas. Then you list a description of how you want it to sound and all of that. You post your contest. Producers from all over the nation can come on the site, look at your contest. If it resonates with them and they feel like pulled to your song, then they can download the tracks for your song and kind of craft together like a rough draft of what they would propose to do with the song. And then you get all of these submissions and you can sort through them, and it's cool. You can hear your song in a bunch of different like incarnations, and it can really help you kind of figure out your own, like what you're going for as well. And then hopefully you'll get like that intangible quality in one of the submissions where it's just like, wow, that's really taking it to this new level. And you choose the winner and reward the winner with the cash prize and finish up the song to perfection.
You know, as an artist, how has that helped you working with ItyDity, Emma Marie?
I think for one, I love ItyDity because it gives people, aspiring artists, a chance to be able to, you know, not if they haven't necessarily recorded with anyone before, they get it all in one. And it's I love it because people who, you know, really want to go somewhere with their music, but they don't necessarily know how. I think that's really awesome for them because, especially like me, me being able to record a song, get it produced all in one, and being able to create really good relationships with producers and, you know, all those people. And it's really, I just love it. And I think for people who are definitely wanting to, you know, get their music out there, and I think it's a really good start to be able to, you know, get your songs produced and get your songs out there.
Mm-hmm. Did you realize prior to, well, you've certainly been in the recording studio before. Did you realize that producers had as much diversity as they do as far as how they approach a song?
Not necessarily. I've worked with a couple producers, but I think they definitely do have a lot of that. And I think I love Milo because he's really helpful and he gives you a lot of tips. See, I've been in a lot of, you know, recording studios and things like that where people will record it and they're like, oh, that sounds good, when it's not necessarily the best recording and you could do better. And that's one of the things I love about Milo, is that he actually pays attention to that and he really, really listens in on it. And if he thinks that you could do better, you'll retry it until he thinks that is the best it can possibly get. So, yeah.
Yeah. And I think what I'm also hearing with that, and we'll bring Maya up in just a moment to speak about that. I think, Emily, what I'm hearing too is that for an artist who maybe is relatively new, going into the studio, there may not be a sense that that it's a collaboration. It's not like you just hand over your work to a producer and then they do this independently of the artist. It's a real integration of the mindset of the two of them working together.
Well, it definitely should be, but it's not always like that. I think what ItyDity does, the contest structure kind of facilitates this like environment where the producers are really invested in the projects that they choose to take on. And so, they were drawn to it for a reason. And then they're also being, pushed to see, what they're capable of at the same time, which is cool for them. But yeah, so I think that I definitely have experienced going into a studio with producers who were just there to get it done and definitely not trying to seek ways that they can take it to a new level. And that's what ItyDity does.
For those that are just joining us, we are speaking with Emily Saterlee, who is the founder of ItyDity, bringing musicians together with producers. Nice to have you with us again, Maya.
Yeah.
What would you say to people who are curious about ItyDity and looking to try it? What would you say to them?
I say go for it. If you can, honestly, the amount of time, like if it's a money thing for people, a lot of time, for me at least, it was so worth it. Because the amount of time that Emily and the producers put in to like make your product, like Emma was saying, that it's just like they pay such good attention to it, like it's very detail oriented, and the people I feel like that are the producers involved in the contest really care about what they're doing, and that makes it like 100% worth it. And it's cool to be able to connect with people that aren't necessarily in the same region as you too, because that the whole world opens up to you basically through this, and it's really cool to make those connections. And yeah,
well, it was very fortunate that and it wasn't, like you said, you can even be in different states. Now when you were working with Jonah, you actually were up in the Chicago area traveling, and he lived in the same state, so you two literally met in the middle. And met in person. It's really wonderful.
Yeah, in South Bend, Indiana. I liked it.
Golden Mallard.
That was a really awesome studio too. So it's just like an all-around phenomenal experience.
Yeah.
Through that, yeah.
Basically, what it does is we're harnessing the power of technology and the internet so that musicians can more easily access each other. Like record labels used to do this, or then they still do. Record labels are really good matchmakers. They're really good at pairing artists with producers or session musicians to help elevate them to the next level. So there's been like so many examples of this. Elton John and Bernie Taupin, who like wrote all of Elton's songs, met through a label. Bob Marley and Wayne Perkins, who's like a Southern rock guitarist, met through Island Records, and that's what brought Bob Marley to the States. A newer example is Amy Winehouse and producer Mark Ronson did her Back to Black album, brought her to the States. And the reason that they're able to like put two people together that they know are going to create this innovative music is because they have this higher vantage point. They have this whole network of talent, and they're able to kind of look down on it and pair people up. So what ItyDity does is we're not just like a simple directory of producers for hire site, or like we're not just like this social network where you can kind of browse through profiles and find each other. The contest structure actually works to be a matchmaking system. So that's what allows you to actually find someone that you would pair well with, which is what record labels used to do. And now it's kind of this way of being able to do that ourselves. So I don't know if that explains it in a different way for people.
It's really cool to learn about this and ongoing to follow the artists that are working with ItyDity. I think both Emma and Maya will continue to utilize ItyDity. And I really urge people to follow the artists that are involved in ItyDity, not just to check out the website, ItyDity. We have the link up there, but also to follow both Emma and Maya. Here is Emma's website, emmamariemusic.net, Your Song Gold, now available. And very exciting working with Milo with that. And you really are very pleased with how that came out. Continuing to work with Milo, and then also I believe you're going to have another contest as well, where you can put it out there for the different producers to listen to. And what I think is really interesting, and I'm going to ask Maya about this as well, is that as an artist, Emma, you have different ways musically that you want to express yourself. You've worked with Milo on Gold, and that was the sound that you were looking for that song. You were speaking to me about the fact you have another song that you kind of want in the same style. However, there's another song that you want in a different style. So you're realizing that, well, Milo's good at this aspect. This is kind of what he hones in on. Let me put this other song of mine into the pool and see what happens.
Right, definitely.
So I find that fascinating that you have that awareness that so look at what you've learned about the different, well, you're continuing to learn, all of us, of course, but you're aware that, you want a different type of sound for another song of yours.
Right, definitely. Yeah, I don't want, for every single song of mine, I don't want it to be really poppy. Like the next contest I'm going to do is with ItyDity is one of my songs called Miles Apart. And that one I'm going to be more, low, I guess, and more raw. And I'm going to have, more orchestral things in there instead of, pop. And yeah, I'd like to do something like that for this next one. So
that's very, very exciting. And all of your following certainly at your website, emmamariemusic.net.
Right.
So that's very, very exciting. We're going to put you in the lobby for a moment, and we'll come back in just a few and wrap up here in a little bit. So great thoughts you have there, Emma. Very well put. Excellent. Really great. Hey, Miss Maya, we're going to bring you back up here. This is really fun, Emily, doing this. I'm really glad that you've gathered these great musicians as part of ItyDity. Very exciting.
I mean, honestly, I'm a little new to Northern Colorado from Los Angeles, and I was like amazed at what talent came on board just off the bat from Northern Colorado on ItyDity. So it was really cool. I mean, Maya and Emma are both super talented. Maya, I think you're Denver based, but still Colorado talent in general seems to be really amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Maya, with your now, I find it interesting with you and working with Jonah. Are you looking at working specifically with Jonah again? Would you put another song into the kind of the contest realm? How are you viewing that right now?
Well, I think that I'm ready to create an album, so I think I need to kind of web that out and plan it out before I move forward with anything. But I would love to at least talk to Jonah and see what he thinks, because I think we jive well artistically.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And would you think that when you go to make an album, now alluding to what Emma was saying about kind of trying a song over here in the pop realm and then trying a song in a different realm over here, maybe using two different producers. How does that work for you when you're looking at making a full album?
Well, honestly, like I need to like sit down with myself and just flesh it all out, and then I'll be able to answer, because I only know where I want certain songs to go. But after hearing the first mix of the song that I did for the first ItyDity contest, it made me want to write a song that could go with it. So I guess I don't know if I can answer that yet. I'm not sure.
Right.
Yeah,
Part,
but yeah.
Yeah, it's part of being an artist, right?
Yeah. And it's all, but I think that I'd be open to all of it. That was not a good answer. I'm so sorry.
It was very artistic one. You're an artist, so it was perfect, right? So
I think that there's singles people and there's albums people. Generally, it's for an album, people do tend to stick with one producer because an album is a cohesive work that flows. I mean, you know this.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. But also, I think for a lot of younger artists, I mean, we're in this singles generation. I mean, it's all about singles. And so a lot of times and we have these like short attention spans. So some people might feel like they just want to make it different every time, or like put out a different single every time that's a different direction. But at the same time, albums and vinyl have made such a big comeback. So there's also that resurgence going on where that's a whole art form. So I see, both. I could see where someone would want to post a contest every time to kind of have a new sound. And I could see where someone would want to go with a producer that they already found the first time and keep on with that.
Yeah, and I think like an aspect of that could be what type of like fan base you'd like to, because certain styles of music, a lot of fans are drawn more towards albums, and then vice versa,
right?
Too. So like so many variables,
right? And you always, and it just comes back to like what you want to do in your heart. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, I want to congratulate you for all of the hard work. I've been following your hard work, and you've really put a lot of energy, a lot of your heart into this ItyDity site, which is doing these great things. So I want to commend you, Emily.
Thank you. You're doing great work in the community too, and Maya's busting her butt gigging. Everyone's hard workers on here. So.
Yeah, and Marie as well. Yeah. So, and I'm glad you're in Northern Colorado. And again, this is not just for people that live in Colorado. It's not just for people actually that even live in the United States. This is a worldwide thing due to how the internet brings us all together like this. Even this conversation we're having here with the four of us, a year ago we probably couldn't have done this live at all. And we want to do a little follow-up show. We weren't able to have Jonah Brockman on tonight, such as the world of.
He texted me. I guess in Michigan it's storming, and his power went out.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. But I would definitely like to, do a follow-up on this a little ways down the road, and in just a itty bitty time, we'll do ItyDity again. And so, really great to have you on this for this first show. Maya, thanks for being on as always.
Thanks for having me.
And it was really fun. I have to say that 2 out of the 4 artists that were in the first round, I've been following for a couple of years, and both of them have just floored me with their talent. So to see them hop on board with what you're doing was really gratifying to see them part of your process with this ItyDity. So that's been really gratifying for me. Maya Bennett has a website, mayabennettmusic.com. And you had, we were speaking about the album, you had, I always get them mixed up because there's a song that sounds very similar. Tell me again, Maya.
So
More
it's
of
called,
Less.
yeah, you got it.
And then there's a song on that, Less of More. You did that on purpose, just because I would like mess that up.
Yeah.
But really fantastic music you have going on. You're down in Denver now, a little bit more of a music scene there, but also you're really traveling up and down the northern Front Range of Colorado, everywhere from Denver up to Fort Collins.
Yeah.
So that's been really great to see. You're doing
Thanks.
extremely well, really hardworking,
Thank you.
very unique. And Emily, thank you for being on. What I'm going to do, I want to thank you, Maya. I'm going to drop you down and say goodnight for now, and I'll bring Emma on. So thanks for being on the
Good
show.
night. Yeah, thank you. Bye, guys.
I'm going to bring Emma up here, and Emily will have you on for just another moment here. Emma, nice job.
Thank you.
You have a website as well, which we put up earlier, emmamariamusic.net, and
Yes.
you have been doing really phenomenal work for the last few years here in the Northern Front Range. So kudos to you and Emily. You really got a couple of really powerhouse talent.
I lucked out. They are awesome. Yeah.
Well, there are no accidents. So, we want to thank Sarah Suzanne for tuning in. Certainly Emma's mom, Cindy, and Steve Donaldson as well, and everybody that's tuned in here. We're going to continue these Be Live shows. I would be remiss not to mention Cindy put up earlier that you can download Gold on Bandcamp.com. That is the very first song produced through ItyDity.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's groundbreaking in many
Really
ways.
exciting. Yeah.
So nice job, everybody. Cindy, thanks for being such a great mom. You and Brian, great parents to Emma Marie. And she's had a lot of support. These musicians have some pretty incredible families. I can certainly say the same thing about Maya's family as well. It's really remarkable how committed parents are to helping their youth in the arts and turning into young adults before our eyes and having the vision of making this great original music. It's really, really something. So it's been very eye-opening for me to be able to see the power that the arts exert over not only the artists themselves, their families, but the communities. And you see a very cooperative, collaborative spirit, especially here in Northern Colorado. It's really something to see. So I want to thank you, Emily, for helping to nurture that through all your work with ItyDity. So I think that's a wrap for tonight. I want to thank you all. And actually, there's a music video coming up for Gold. So that's going to be something else people can follow on Emma's site. I want to thank Emma Marie. I want to thank Maya, Bennett, and Emily, all on the show tonight. I want to thank you all for being with us.
Thank you, Vincent. This was awesome.
Thank you. Yeah.
Good to see everyone.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Maya. We'll have you on real soon. Thank you, everybody.
Okay.
Bye. See ya.